Every single week, Peacemaker continues to shock and awe, going in wildly different directions than what we expect. So without any further ado, and spoilers ahead, this is my review of episode 6 of Peacemaker. Following last week's cliffhanger of an ending, we follow through on exploring Murn's identity while the two opposing forces of the show, Agee Smith and the Butterflies, make their move while Peacemaker is just completely nowhere. Now, before I properly get started with my review, I want to know your thoughts on Peacemaker episode 6, your thoughts on the show as a whole. Drop them down in the comment section below. Anything and everything, just start the conversation. And if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be. So consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss any future conversation on your favorite movies and TV. Now, you know, if you followed the review so far, I have really been enjoying this show. And this episode, just on a screenplay standpoint, is very efficient. Number one, this is just the most tense episode we've seen thus far, where you see the pieces on the chessboard of James Gunn being moved around, and you just know everything is going to go wrong. And everything that could go wrong in this episode does go wrong. To start us off, something I didn't see coming whatsoever is that Harcourt already knows Murn's secret identity ever since episode 3. Economist also knows. So what I did predict correctly was that Murn was going to be a good guy. He's the good Butterfly. He's the one who's trying to stop everyone else from taking over humanity. We still don't quite know what they want, though. That is something that is explored in this episode as Peacemaker himself is interrogating Goff after he designs, or she, I don't know, designs a peace sign on the bottle, on the flask that he's in, and tries to communicate with Peacemaker. And we have a ton of funny interactions between Peacemaker and Vigilante, where he wants to find out what Goff's favorite color is, if it's steel, and it can only be yes or no questions. It's really the type of humor that this show has become so well known for and so beloved for. But this episode, again, really focuses more on tension, as that first scene of who knows about Murn's secret, we establish who knows and who doesn't, and the only people who don't are Peacemaker and Vigilante. And so there's tension and friction right there on the team. And while this is happening, Detective Song has gone out of her way to get Agee Smith out of prison so she can get Peacemaker, because he is the suspect of that whole mess that happened in episode 2. And because she does this, Agee Smith goes home and gathers his forces, his clan, to kill his son, and puts on the White Dragon costume, which it is such a great job at bringing into live action. I really think it looks fantastic, and it looks badass, more importantly. So while one of these opposing forces is moving on Peacemaker, the police go to his place, and we have this great escape sequence where the miscommunication between Peacemaker and Vigilante is ultimately their downfall. As they're trying to escape and Vigilante falls from this tree, having the jar with Goff inside, smashes it, and Goff gets into Detective Song. Goff, as they established early in the episode with the Murn sequence at the beginning, is the leader of the Butterflies. And so Peacemaker and Vigilante are able to run away because Goff escapes into Detective Song. Captain Locke helps them out. They are completely confused at what is going on. But then Song eventually brings in all the Fireflies. There's this awesome sequence at the end to the sound of yet another banger of a song that James Gunn, every single episode, I have a new favorite song in this show. And this incredible sequence of just the Butterflies taking over every single person in the police station, from police people 2 guards, 2 prisoners, and Captain Locke, who had Peacemaker's diary that they found in his caravan that he never found in the first place, is then used against him. And so this episode just puts a mirror up to the question of who can you trust? And throughout this episode, we're seeing the friction of people keeping secrets from one another with the whole diary thing, and now Leota also knows Murn's secrets, and the team is ready to make a move on the butterflies and their cow, which supposedly is an animal that they're milking to get nutrition and food before they head onto human bodies. But now at the end of the episode, we're at the point of no return. The butterflies have made their move. Agee Smith is dead set on killing his son. There's a really sweet moment too between Peacemaker and Harcourt, where she puts the dove symbol on his gun, on his P90. There's this really nice exchange where she tells him her name. And there's just a moment of tranquility and serenity in that was really necessary for this character that is haunted by having killed his brother, haunted by having killed Rick Flag, which is something that slowly, subtly, he struggled with throughout the show that James Gunn did so well. Not so much in those first few episodes, which was one of my issues with the show, but right now, really coming into fruition, really have a really nice payoff to that. Plus, when they find a diary and they have this big press conference, the police on TV, and using his knowledge about the butterflies that he wrote down to frame him as a madman, as this nutbag that is out there talking about conspiracy theories about aliens living inside of us, living among us. It's a really nice way of bringing us to that point of no return, where we're motivating now Peacemaker to take action against the aliens, but not so much the humans, which is growth, which is character development. And I think James Gunn is achieving this with his unique mix of drama, weight, and comedy really well. Peacemaker episode 6 once more showcases the sensational character work that has been slowly building throughout the show, and we get the payoffs for it, with our antagonistic forces making their move, and we care about it because we understand the weight and the impact that they're going to have on our hero's journey. John Cena continues to surprise also in every single episode, where I think we by now have to give him more credit about his genuine acting chops than we have so far. So once again, a banger of an episode, really funny, very poignant, and really places these characters in interesting positions about who can each one of them trust, and we shift the character dynamics as well throughout, whereby last week Leota was probably the character Peacemaker could trust the most. Right now I would put Harcourt on there, who has been the secret MVP of this show. Besides Peacemaker, she's by far my favorite character. But that's only what I think. What did you guys think of this week's Peacemaker? Let me know anything and everything down there in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members Bruna and Stuart for making this video possible, and check out the link in the description to see if you want to become a member. Thank you so much once more for watching. I'll be back very soon with reviews for Moonfall, The Mandalorian Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2, and Gold, and many others, and I hope to see you on those. So until the next one, love each other, and love the movies.